But as well as losing money, Nicola Trudgeon was losing faith in Scientology. She took up the cult's promise of a refund and was repaid some £6,000, but only after Scientology was ordered by a court to pay it. Yet the cult is extremely rich. Recent documents from St Hill, obtained by Facing South, show the total income for the 7 Scientology centres in Britain in just 1 week was over £55,000. Apart from the regional organisations, there are 10 recruiting centres, including 4 on the south coast. Much of the money they raise goes to the headquarters in East Grinstead, and some from here to the United States. In the past, huge amounts of cash were siphoned off by Hubbard for his personal use. Some went into Swiss bank accounts, though Hubbard was reluctant to admit it.
I don't have Swiss bank accounts. There is a bank account in Switzerland. I don't know how much money is in it, but not very much.
In fact, Hubbard siphoned off millions of dollars for his personal accounts via a front company registered in Liberia. On his behalf, the money was then distributed to secret accounts in Liechtenstein and Luxembourg. Former aides have testified that Hubbard took tens of millions of dollars out of Scientology. Although ordinary Scientologists were unaware of this diversion of funds, some were becoming disillusioned with another aspect of Scientology's finances. Steve Bisbee left the cult in 1982. He was unhappy that so little was spent on the basic welfare of staff.
The staff pay was £4 a week. In practice, £4 a week was rarely gotten by anybody. I can show you my own P45 from those days, which proves the amount of money that was paid out. And if you care to look at the statistics of the amount of gross income that was taken in during that period from the church, there is an incredible discrepancy.
But the Scientology officials at St Hill insist their money is well spent on running the church organisations, or as they call them, the orgs.
All of the management, the top management of the church, is done from the States, and as such there's a service which comes back. So the management you answer this, maybe you know better.
To be honest with you, I don't have all the specifics on the money flows. I know that we've opened up in 7 countries, and I know that money is going out there to set up orgs and so on. And, I mean, short of going and getting my accountants, I can't answer your question in the detail that you want. Do you see what I mean?
Other ex-Scientologists, like Morag Belmain, claim there's been relentless penny-pinching within the cult. And she says that the constant emphasis on money has had disastrous human consequences, particularly on children's welfare. Morag Belmain worked for 6 years in a nursery at Stonelands, a hostel for Scientology staff near East Grinstead.
In Scientology, they considered that putting somebody to look after children was a waste of manpower. So that meant that they didn't actually look after them. Now, if you have a big group of children and you have nobody looking after them, also you have no funds to buy basic equipment, then you get a rebel. And that's what we had. They didn't get looked after, they used to run wild, you know, and basically turn into little criminals.
At Stonelands, Morag Belmain found that a lack of cash to pay the bills often meant harsh measures. It happened once in the depths of winter.
The idea was, because there wasn't enough money to pay these bills, the punishment, shall we say, for that was to cut off all the heating, cut off all the hot water. And we lived, well, with no heating, no electricity. And also, we were all put on a diet of beans and rice, and that included the children. So these little kids, 1, 2, 3, all they ate was beans and rice.
For each new recruit, there's more money for the cult, and the energy put into recruitment can be seen at Brighton on every day of the year. In Scientology, a likely candidate is called raw meat. If he agrees to take the personality test they offer, it won't be long before the Scientologist announces who he is and broaches the subject of money. We secretly recorded an interview between one recruitment officer and a Facing South researcher posing as a student. Inside the recruitment centre, he was taken to an upstairs office.
Hello?
Only minutes into the conversation that followed, the Scientologist was asking for cash for a short initial course.
The actual cost of it is $115, That's inclusive of VAT. It would say
£115 in most cases would be only a first instalment. Each course has another fee, and the Scientologists, where possible, prefer payment in advance.
What I'd need, bank name, branch address, and if you know it, your account number.
I can't tell you the number. I can give you the name and the address.
That'll be sufficient then.
Okay.
I can set this up then.
Right.
Okay, I'll show you how to do it. I'll get back to you in a second.
Great, thanks.
The personality test offered in Brighton is one way of involving people in Scientology. There are others. An advertisement in a national newspaper offers help for all kinds of ailments, from tiredness to fungal infections. It's placed by the Candida Albicans Advice Centre of East Grinstead. Candida's consultant, Dr. Dorothy West, turns out to be a long-standing Scientologist, and her advice group has recommended auditing as part of their treatment. Candida is sponsored and supplied by G&G Vitamin Centre, based in East Grinstead. The company is run by a husband and wife who are also long-standing Scientologists. The wife, Sheila Gaiman, is Executive Director of Scientology's Social Coordination Bureau. But G&G's solicitors say the company has no legal, corporate, nor financial ties with Scientology. By whatever route people reach Scientology, once there they discover that total obedience to the cult's hierarchy is the top priority. The elite core of Scientologists at St. Hill dress in naval uniform, a custom stemming from Hubbard's Navy career. As Hubbard on his ocean-going yacht saw it, ordinary members were to obey instructions without